Twins, and the song written by the amazing Hedini Melbourne. 2:08 now, the all-night program here at RNZ National. And today in history was a scary one for the residents of Wellington back in 1855. I'll tell you more very soon. Right now, though, it's the word. A regular feature in this morning's word is Foofaror. F-O-O-F-A-R-A-W. Foofaror. It's a noun. It means a great fuss or disturbance about something very insignificant. No foofaror today. Relax. Hello, Sarah. Welcome on board to the all-night program this morning. Thanks for your text. This is Tim Finn and Forever Thursday. It's from his 2008 album, The Conversation. Tim Finn. And now it's time for that Kiwi history lesson. It's the 23rd of January today, and on this day in 1855, a massive earthquake hit the southern North Island. Yes, the magnitude 8.2 earthquake had a profound impact on the development of Wellington City. Land raised from the harbour, along with additional reclamations, formed much of modern Wellington's central business district. The earthquake also drained notoriously swampy areas in the Hutt Valley and Wellington, including the future site of the Basin Reserve cricket ground. Movement on a fault in Palliser Bay caused the earthquake, which struck at 9:11 p.m. and lasted for 50 seconds. It lifted the southern end of the Remitaka Range by a staggering 6 metres. About 10 minutes after the main shock, a 4-metre high tsunami entered Wellington Harbour, sending water surging back and forth and flooding Lambton Quay. Several buildings collapsed, including the 2-storey council chambers and adjoining government offices. Most single-storey wooden buildings survived, despite damage caused by falling brick chimneys and shifting foundations. Despite its strength, the quake killed only a few people, 1 in Wellington, 2 in Manawatu, and up to 6 in Waiatuzapa. It's a big one on this day back in 1855. The time now is 13 past 2. And in 2014, Auckland City Football Club made history by becoming the first side from Oceania to win a medal of the Football Club World Cup. The tournament puts the best club teams in the world against each other in a knockout competition, meaning amateur clubs like Auckland could compete against professional clubs from Europe and South America, with a payroll in the millions of dollars. But at the tournament in Morocco, the team, made up with a mixture of semi-professionals, lawyers, construction workers and a truck driver, beat the odds and the naysayers, making it all the way to the semi-final and eventually took out third place. Former All-White and Auckland City stalwart Ivan Visovic was the captain and a key part of that team, and he spoke to Jesse Mulligan about it on Kiwi sporting history.
Yeah, going back to 2014, it's a while back now, but the memories are still fresh.
Yeah, awesome.
It was an incredible tournament to be involved in, and incredible result, I think, not only for football in New Zealand, but for sport in general, to put a team of amateurs onto the world stage and to bring back a bronze medal was incredible.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about the Auckland City Club.
Yeah, Auckland City was formed when New Zealand Football changed the format of the league in New Zealand. They requested franchises, I think very similar to the Premier League based in Australia, and clubs were formed there. Auckland City was formed there. So at Kiwi Street, which is also the home of Century United, which is also a historical club in New Zealand, which was won a few trophies. But Auckland City was born there, and yeah, I joined Auckland City after my time in Europe sort of came towards an end. I was about 30, 31-ish, maybe 32, expecting up this baby. We moved back with my wife moved back to New Zealand and to start the family there, thinking that potentially 31 going on 32 might be a good time to retire. So, yeah, with the ability at Auckland City to keep that level high and to continue playing, then that process started probably about 2009. I think I returned and joined up with Auckland City and had some very good seasons in there. So, look, it's a club that has a lot of volunteers there, has a huge passion for football. You know, historically, Kiwi Street was sort of born through the Century United, which is a lot of immigrants from the Croatian background there. Huh. So, you know, the passion is there, and they love their football. So that sort of breeds, I guess, at any club, but especially at our club, that, you know, that passion breeds through us, and we try to create an environment where it's a family type thing. We look after everyone, and we hope that can come through on the field as well, I guess. And, you know, in 2014 it was a moment where it certainly did, and it all connected in the right dots, and we got some history made.
Yeah.
Incredible. And if people don't know much about your career, you've been in the Dutch Football League as a professional for a few years, right? And I guess you were able to bring some of that international experience back to Auckland City.
Yeah, I had a great time in Holland. I played there for Roda JC and RKC Waalwijk, which two clubs there that at my time was always competing with the big names like Ajax or PSV or Feyenoord, which people probably recognise a bit more. But spent 8 or 9 years there, and yeah, had an incredible time.
Yeah,
incredible time. Absolutely, just, you know, Europe is a home of, well, not the home of football, but it's 24/7 there. So to grow up thinking that it would be easy to make it to win a World Cup or something as a kid, it was definitely a tough time, but a great experience. And yeah, I think it helped obviously to bring it back to our team in New Zealand, and you know, we had a lot of players with a lot of different experiences coming together, and I think this result in 2014 was from a group of players that have been together for a few number of years, plus also with a coaching staff that had evolved this style of football that we hadn't really seen in the shores of New Zealand.
Really? What was the style?
Well, our coach at that time, Ramon Tribulic, was a lot more sort of born in Barcelona, so that style of football is bred in his veins. And
what do they call it, tiki-taka?
They do call it a little bit, but it's obviously has a lot of purpose to it. And you know, with Ramon in charge in 2014, I think our style of football was very good. I think if you look back at the games now and the results, we had a lot of football possessions of the game. We weren't just holding on to these results or grinding out results. So, you know, we took the game to these opposition teams, and with a lot of merit, we came out in 10th place.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about the path to that tournament. So, presumably, the tournament is for the clubs that have won the various leagues around the world. So, presumably, you had won the league the year before in New Zealand's Auckland City.
Yeah, so the winners of all the leagues in respective countries go into what's called a Champions League. And we all know about the UEFA Champions League, and that it's always high on the horizon when people are watching football. But in Oceania here, there's also a Champions League, Oceania Champions League, and we're Auckland City blessed at the moment to potentially have won I think 9 or 10 times, and at that time we'd won the Champions League in 2013, which meant we qualified for the FIFA Club World Cup in 2014.
So you're up against, so the first part is you're up against teams from mostly around the Pacific, right? You've got to win against all of them for your club to go through the...
Correct, yes. We'll play the champions of Fiji, of Papua New Guinea, and look, back in 2014, I believe, the games the format is home and away, so you travel in one weekend to... Let's say Vanuatu, you play in front of 25,000 people. It's very hot. It's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 35 degrees.
Yeah.
The guys have just come from a cooler temperature in Auckland, and you need to grind out a result and get a result. And so the pathway is incredible. And it's always part of the journey as sports people talk about. And you go away and you get incredible results, and you get back to New Zealand, and then you continue with the National League here, and then 4 weeks later you're travelling again for another result. So part of that journey is really good. So it's a process there. So you win that Champions League spot, and then you qualify for a tournament which includes, from my memory, 6 or 7 other confederations that are in that World Cup, and so it really gives a chance for every club in the world to represent on the international scene. And obviously in New Zealand we've seen that with Auckland City have done that, also Team Wellington has done that, and clubs also from the Pacific Islands have also qualified at stages.
Okay, so you show up in Morocco, I think it was, the 2014 FIFA Club World Cup. You're representing the Oceania Champions League, and then you're up against the teams that have won the leagues in South America and Europe and all the big ones, right? Central America. And presumably there's a few professionals around in these teams.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very star-studded is the correct word. I mean, we know Real Madrid are there because they've won the UEFA Champions League, and they'll be arriving very soon. So the dream is to get to the final, and for a club in New Zealand, it's a very big dream. As I said, mentioned in 2009, they won a game previously, so the goal was to tackle the first game, which is the first game we play against the host nation, which is also a tough game, obviously, because they're trying to get into the final stages.
Yeah, technically that's a playoff, right, to get into the quarterfinals. So you're up against the Moroccan team, Maghreb.
10-1.
Yep. Well, what do you remember about that game?
Well, tough. Prior to that, we had a very good sort of build-up. I mean, the club understands the necessity to prepare as good as you can. We had a few days there in a training camp. We also played against international side Uzbekistan, who had just previously been in New Zealand, played against New Zealand national team. So we had a really good result there against them, 0-0, and so leading up to our tournament, that was very good. It's great to experience a higher level of football, prior to getting to the tournament, and to draw with an international side was good, just a standalone result by itself. And unfortunately, they got a little bit upset, and we suffered an injury to one of our players due to a bad tackle. But that's part of the game. Friendly games aren't always friendly.
Yeah.
So we moved from there to the that first game against Tetuan, and look, it was a really difficult game. A lot at stake. As you said, it's a playoff game. Every game is a knockout. So we go in there just off the back of that Uzbekistan result with confidence, and as the game grows longer, we see the opportunities there. And difficult game. We draw the game in normal time, and we hit the penalties, and we get a result on penalties. So absolutely incredible result, and incredible night for the club and for the country.
I should point out, by the way, that 4 years earlier you represented the All Whites at the FIFA World Cup. So I guess that's a help for you, right? You can say to the guys, you've been here before. You know what it's like on that big stage. Were you able to, give any words of wisdom?
Yeah, look, I mean, 2010 is another incredible moment, and yeah, look, I mean, obviously we, as football players, we talk about the experiences, and you know, the Kiwis were obviously following New Zealand in 2010, and watching that dream fall out and seeing those results. I mean, you know, talking about recently just watching now Australia play France.
Yeah.
You know, brought up memories of New Zealand playing Italy, because Italy was the reigning champs at the time. So, you know, for us to get a result against the reigning champs was incredible for New Zealand. And
okay, but 4 years later, you're back at a FIFA tournament.
Yeah, back in the international scene. Yeah.
And you walk into those that penalty shootout, and it's a pretty tense time.
It is a tense time because there's so much at stake, and we've done so well in the game to get the results. So you want to finish that night off on a high, and the boys did really well in the finish. Obviously, and the keeper made some saves, so we clinched the victory, and we have an incredible night back at the hotel.
Yeah, great. And you go through the quarterfinals on tour. If you've just tuned in, he was captain when the Auckland City football team made history, becoming the first side from Oceania to win a medal at the Football Club World Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, on against ES Sétif. They are from Algeria, and no doubt got a few handy players amongst them.
Yeah, very good team. Talking about the Champions League there of Africa, they've beaten every club in Africa to that title, you know. So it's, when you think about the number of clubs there, or the countries there,
Ghana and Senegal and some Cote d'Ivoire, some huge names in football.
Huge. A lot of big players have come through and played on the international scene and club scene. So yeah, another daunting experience ahead of us in that day, but you know, a lot of confidence from that first result. 2 or 3 days we had there to
recuperate,
prepare. You know, we did have probably a couple of beverages after that first result, just to celebrate. But
it must be a bit hard to find a beverage in Morocco. I guess you're okay when you're inside the hotel.
Inside the hotel and enjoying that. But yeah, obviously fully focused on the next game and coming against a big team again. So yeah, same thing again, same sort of. Wanted to go into that game trying to hold on to possession of the ball a lot, because if we have the ball, the other teams can't have it, and that means they can't score. So trying to create chances by having the ball a lot and giving ourselves that confidence, because every time you make passes as a player, you feel better when they're completed, or you can create chances. And for our team then, you know, straight away again, second game within 4 days, we get another incredible result when we score a goal in the second half and we go into 1-1.
Yeah. And Algeria borders Morocco, so I'm guessing there's a few fans come across to watch that game for the team.
Yeah, there was. I think we actually got a bit of support from the home country there, and which was great because
they're kind of rivals like the New Zealand-Australia.
Yeah, that's right, big rivals, and you know, it's already a little bit of a you know, quite a nice story. Obviously, we're an amateur team coming into this tournament, and we've got a result. We've beaten the host nation, so you know, you think that'll be against you, but in a way, we play a team that borders them, so there is that rivalry there, and we come on top, so we do definitely have support there, which is great. And John scores an incredible goal from a corner, which gives us that lead, and then we managed to hold out to get the victory.
This is John Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you didn't score in the penalties or in that one, but you're obviously having a pretty good tournament, because, spoiler alert, you end up getting a medal yourself for that tournament. So personally, were you happy with your performance and your contribution to the team?
Yeah, look, I mean, personally, to get the results, I mean, the whole team has to play well. When you're the underdog and you're fighting against better teams, everyone has to do well. So, yeah, great experience for myself personally as well. I mean, as you mentioned, I've been through 2010, but it's another incredible time to be at a FIFA tournament, and to be involved and to be out in the field and to be leading the team was incredible. And just to see the response from the players and the joy that they have when they get these victories is something that is very special to everyone. Those memories last forever. So to get that second result is another icing on the cake to emphasise how well we had been performing.
Get through to the semi-finals. Huge result for the New Zealand team up against San Lorenzo from Argentina. I imagine they've got a bit of club history.
Yeah, massive historical club in Argentina, and yeah, it's winning that quarterfinal, knowing that we can be coming up against a team like that is very special and another daunting experience.
Did you take them to extra time?
Yeah, so we started that game also very well actually. We suffered though, I think just before half time they scored and we're 1-0 down, so good team talk at half time, nothing to lose, 1-0 down, let's try and work our way back into the game, and we get a beautiful goal by Andal Balanga, who's now the captain of the team, still playing in the team at the moment, and
wow.
So he scores a great goal, and obviously we go nuts, and we see the result at 1-1, and we try our best. It goes to extra time, and we suffer an extra time, and we suffer a 2-1 loss in the end. So, but full credit to the team, incredible performance, really, to be honest. I mean, you're playing against, historically in this tournament, those two teams make every final. I mean, they are European side, Real Madrid, or a European champion and a South American champion normally makes the finals. So for us to at least, I guess, rattle the feathers of that South American team and make their heart beat a bit quicker, it's very special. To be on the field with them was the experience. Just to say that a New Zealand team is playing in the semi-final of the FIFA tournament is something very special.
And then you go to the match for third place 3 days later. You must be getting pretty worn out at this point.
Absolutely. Especially me, I think I was about 38, 39. So. Living on Powerade and different things like that to get you through. But obviously we get looked after, the teams get looked after very well in those tournaments, and the training facilities are incredible, and the staff that we have at the time are just working 24/7 with the players. So it's an experience that, I think it's the fourth game, so it's not really something you do every year, so it's an incredible time.
So back to Stade Marrakesh for that big day. They're playing the match for third place and then the final on the same day. And another pretty amazing victory for you guys.
Yeah, very good. I remember the day. The sun was shining and it was a beautiful stadium there. It was getting chock-a-block because obviously it's a double header. The team was out there, we're lining up, and we've got nothing to lose again. We're playing against a team that on paper should be winning this game, and we start really good. We play really well, and we get the first goal. So it really rattles on Ryan Defree's goal, which is a beautiful goal. I think Emiliano Tade sets him up with a diagonal ball, and Ryan first touch is brilliant and behind the defence, and then he slots it sort of mid-height of the goal, beats the keeper, and walking off the field a couple of minutes later at half-time, the guys are just buzzing again. I mean, it's just a ride that's never ending, and for us to be in front in that moment is something really good.
Just before half-time, and then they do it up the second half.
Yeah, they make a few changes. They may have taken us a little bit lightly, but they make a couple of changes that bring some sort of players into the game that they want to change. And I think, as you mentioned earlier, a little bit of fatigue is in for us, and we try to hold on a little bit there, but they get a goal back, and we get to 90 minutes, 1-1. So. Just thinking about that, even without the penalties, it's an incredible result again that we've done and done the club proud and the players proud. So we got a penalty for that, and we get the victory with a save and a final penalty by Sonny Easton, who scores a beautiful top corner goal. So the dream is completed there.
And just sit down and watch the final?
Absolutely, you're inside and you're still buzzing. I mean, you're into the change rooms, the songs are singing, and the guys are going absolutely crazy. It's incredible to look back at the full games in such a short period, and the staff are over the moon. The club is just at another level at that stage, and we're walking through the tunnel, and Real Madrid is completing their warm-up, and the players, our players and everyone around the world looks at and watches every day, and you rub your shoulders with them, you're catching up with some of their players that have some contacts with our players, which is incredible. We had a Croatian player, Murray Bellin, who played youth football with Luka Modric, so we're seeing him in the tunnel having a chat about old times. And you know, the guys are absolutely buzzing, not just because of that position, but they sit down and enjoy that final. And we see Real Madrid will take that 1-0 from right.
Okay, and just some of the names who are playing there: Gareth Bale, Sergio Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema. I mean, these are names that even people who don't really know football, they'll be familiar to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Star-studded and superstars of the world, and we see it every week. They keep performing, and yeah, look, we're sort of whisker away from playing them in the final, which is hard to believe, but yeah, a super team that was strong enough in that final tournament, and you know, special for us as well, because in the middle ceremony we're on the field as well with those other two teams.
Oh yeah.
So we get into mixed shoulders with them, and some of the guys that, as I mentioned, you're in a position to provide people with an opportunity that they may never get again in their life. So it's a great time to experience it with players and young players. You know, we had a lot of young players in that squad at the time as well that were just starting on their football careers that enjoyed a moment, which, you know, was just very surreal.
Everyone else in that party would have been a professional footballer, right?
Yeah, look, there's players on that podium earning 50 million a year. You know, it's there's players that we've come up against that absolutely top-notch and world-class, and for an amateur team to go so far. Look, you can talk about getting a result in a one-off game, but to have the quality to do that, you know, over 4 games is something very special. So it was a great time for our club and for Oceania football as well. I mean, it really, Oceania football went through a couple of the Club World Cups where there was some quite large results for the negative, but we managed to provide that sort of lifeline for our clubs in that respect, reinstated again.
I mean, can you remember as you go through your team what they actually did for a living?
Yeah, one of the major sort of highlights for the media there was learning that we were an amateur team and guys were working 9 to 5 as painters, as electricians, as school teachers. So this is a team that we almost instilling that mentality of trying to be a pro into the players, and that type of character was very highlighted by the coach Ramon, and the demands to be 4 nights a week training, Saturday morning training, and maybe a game on Sunday. You know, it's very hard, especially when you're working 9 to 5 and you've got young kids or a family. It's very difficult, but you know, the understanding that you need to do that to rise to the occasion, and the buy-in from the players was incredible, and the results from that hard work paid out.
I'm talking about Ivan Veselic, who was captain of the Auckland City Football Club team, who went to the FIFA Club Finals in 2014 and came third. And then how about this accolades for you, Ivan? Now I'm looking at the results here. The awards were given at the conclusion of the tournament. Adidas Golden Ball goes to Sergio Ramos. Adidas Silver Ball goes to Cristiano Ronaldo. And the Adidas Bronze Ball goes to Ivan Veselic of Auckland City.
Yeah, it's very incredible moment to look back now and think that happened is something you need to pinch yourself for. Yeah, it's obviously coming off the back of an incredible tournament with the team, and the performance of those players is what led to that award. And you know, potentially, you know, the age might have helped to sort of get a tick on that list.
That's a recognition that you took a bunch of amateurs and took them to third place in a FIFA World Tournaments, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's, as I mentioned, the results of the team and the performances, consistent performances, is a highlight. And to be up there on the podium with two superstars, Sergio Ramos and Ronaldo, who were still playing at the highest level and doing really well, was surreal. And
I mean, it's a cliche, but you must have been pinching yourself at that moment.
Well, I was. We were standing there on the field waiting to go up for our 2-place medals, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and they said, "Oh, you've got to lead up." So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to lead the team up, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, do I go first as the captain or last? How does that work? Talking to the, and the lady goes, "No, actually, you're getting up there for the bronze ball." I'm like, a little bit of a shock, and so yeah, that's a special time for me, for the family to be up there and to see it, and it's become a little bit of an iconic photo at the moment.
Yeah. You still got the photo, of course.
There's a few floating around here.
We've got it on our website if you'd like to take a look. It's pretty special. And you still got the trophy?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a special thing that's never going to depart from the family house, and it's great. Look, I've got two boys now growing up to 10 and 11, so they weren't quite at the age of that stage where they can look back now and enjoy that, and a few of the friends come around here and there and they get a few stories, which is good for them, So.
Are they boys into football?
Yeah, they love it. They had a late night last night watching Croatia against Morocco. So obviously with New Zealand not there, we're supporting Croatia where the grandparents are from. So they had a late night, but
Plus their father's old feud with Morocco as well, going back to that first club game back in 2014.
yes, that's right. Fond memories of Morocco.
How did Croatia go last night?
Result was 0-0 in the end. Tough game. Very tough game.
Single point, eh?
Getting into the tired days ahead with a lot of football in the early mornings, but enjoying it.
Of all the memorabilia and awards and medals and things that you've got, where does that bronze ball rank?
Look, very highly to the bronze ball, also the third medal to lead a New Zealand team and to a FIFA tournament and get a position on the podium. It's incredible, and if you understand football and you want to compare it to maybe 10 or 15 years ago where potentially the All Blacks are playing a small nation for the All Blacks to lose, this is something like comparison for those who don't understand football. And as you mentioned, a team of amateur going against a team of a lot of teams of pros that do it full time and get looked after really well. Very special up there with obviously the road to 2010. The Bahrain games home and away, the experience in Wellington, and also the experience of the World Cup in 2010 is something special. So very highly rated, and the memories of that they're going to last forever, and the stories as well.
Still involved with Auckland City FC?
Yeah, I'm still enjoying time there. I have a position now as an assistant coach and also working there in the academy. So I love being involved with football and giving something back to not only the club but the country and the players around and the young kids coming through. So enjoyable. We keep striving to emulate what we've done in the past, and I think that's the beauty of the club. We have a good squad at the moment and successful this year in the Champions League. So we're actually waiting now to hear information about where the FIFA Club World Cup is going to be hosted and which dates they will commence within potentially a couple of months. So exciting time for the club and also for the players and the squad.
Yeah, you've had the FIFA Club World Cup 3 more times since the 2014 tournament we've been talking about, but haven't managed to win that playoff for the quarterfinals again, so it just shows you how big that was back in 2014. Thanks for all that you've given to New Zealand football, Ivan. Our most caps player and captain for one of our most memorable and illustrious achievements at that FIFA Football World Cup. Thanks so much for remembering it with us, and take care of that trophy.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Ivan Visovich was speaking to Jesse Mulligan, who returns to the radio this afternoon at 1 p.m. As I mentioned earlier, every show is back actually today after a good old-fashioned holiday. Morning Report, hosted by Corin Dan and Guy Espiner, from 6 through until 9. That's right after First Up, which also returns, hosted by Nathan Haredi. 9 till noon with Catherine Brown. The Midday Report with Marnie Dunlop. As I've just mentioned, Jesse Mulligan on afternoons. Wallace Chapman with the panel. Checkpoint, hosted by Lisa Owen, and of course, Nights with Karen Hay. You're listening to the All Night program right now, and following news, sport and weather in 18 minutes at 3 o'clock, one of the runners-up in the 9 to noon short story competition, in which an older man remembers a mountain helicopter mission to recover the body of a young German woman. The story's called The German Girl, written by Morag McTaggart. Music for you now from Swedish sisters Johanna and Tara Soderberg, who go by the name of First Aid Kit. Yes, from their 2012 album The Lions. Well, this one's called King of the World. A very good morning to you, morning up. I hope you're well. Marcus, King of the World. Sarah, thank you so much for the ode that you've sent through via text, which I will share before 3, which is in 14 minutes from now. For my entertainment files though. Mourners, we're heading to Graceland on Sunday morning to pay their respects to singer Lisa Marie Presley at the Memphis, Tennessee mansion she inherited from her father, rock legend Elvis Presley. Lisa Marie died on the 12th of January at the age of 54. Earlier that day, she'd been rushed to a Los Angeles area hospital after reportedly suffering cardiac arrest at her home. She is